Hey everyone, welcome back to Google Workspace Recap, your number one source for everything Workspace by the tabGeeks Network. My name is Jesse Nolan, my co-host is Steve Larson, and we're here to help you keep up. I want to give a shout out to our sister show, SaaS Showdown, available everywhere you can find Workspace Recap, and is all about managing SaaS at your organization while staying sane. Their latest episode is debating who owns that app, marketing or IT. Check out SaaS Showdown and find out the answer. Wanted to give them a little bit of a boost there because they're just getting their second season rocking and rolling, and it's really an awesome show, so definitely go and check it out. Steve, how's it going over in the Windy City?
Not too bad. It's finally getting, I think, cold here now. We've had some nice weather leading up to today, really, and starting to have to bundle up, so winter's coming.
Yep, absolutely. It's, let's see, 58 degrees here in Southern California, which is weird. And I was just out on the East Coast for this past weekend for a family wedding, and it was about the same, except at nighttime it was like 40 degrees and very cold. And now I'm headed to Florida, where there's a storm coming, so that should be fun.
I was going to say it's time to start to fly somewhere warm and just work remotely,
right.
but...
right. I live there. That's here.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that storm in Florida should be fun. So hopefully everybody stays safe during that. I don't think it's going to be as big. Right now the models are showing it doesn't look like it's going to be as big as Ian. So hopefully I'm not eating my words later, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So we have like nothing to report this week.
It's a quiet week. We got a few things, but it's pretty quiet. Yeah, just adding another link here in that I found.
Well, they had to give everybody a little bit of time off after the mad rush of Google Next and everything was released after that. So makes sense.
We did have a busy week or two there. So yeah, this week is relatively quiet and not too much extra news other than the Q4 2022 roadmap coming out. So that is always a fun time of the quarter to peruse through that and have a look. So we'll share with you the link to that, and if you have access to it, it will work. If you don't, then you gotta sign some things and get some access.
Otherwise, you never heard of the roadmap.
Yeah. At least talk about the existence of it. Just can't talk about what's in it. Speaking of those other updates we did have two updates there in the end of week recap, and then we had 4 updates throughout the week. Those 2 that we saw in the recap post, first one was using smart chips in Google Sheets as links on mobile. Smart chips are, really impressed. I really like the use of the smart chips. I don't know how much you've been using them, Jesse, but in Docs, in more so now in Sheets, but especially in Docs. I mean, I'm using the email draft pretty frequently, linking in different dates, things like that. So it's been useful for me. Been getting a lot of use out of that.
Yeah, I like the hover over the hover cards, as they call them.
Right. Yeah. It's been useful. Then looking next, another recap one was the offline printing is now available in Google Sheets. And then in terms of updates for the week, we have improved flow for expiring access controls in Drive. There's also a reminder to migrate your classic Google sites before January 30th, 2023.
Again.
Oh, man, I can't wait until that is just finally over. It seems like that's been a decade now since classic sites was meant to be sunset. It's just, it hasn't ended. I mean, it will apparently, but we'll see. Only a few months away. And then I think this is our somewhat semi-annual or so announcement around Google for Education. Transformation reports window is now open for customers worldwide. And then finally, you can manage projects and tasks with a new timeline view in Google Sheets. And again, it seems like that one has been out for a little while, but I think that was just some... Oh, that was the next announcement. That's why we heard about it such a while ago. Yeah. Yep. That's it. So that's been announced. So And then, yeah, like I said, and then the final, just that single item in the news was the roadmap coming out. I think that was it, right? There was nothing else that you had been able to discover there in the news for this week, right? So pretty quiet week
No,
overall.
that's it. Admittedly, I was
Yeah.
traveling and did not have as much time where I was sitting and just going through the various sources on Twitter and news apps that I have on my phone, which is where I usually come across these things, perusing the algorithmically sorted content for me. So
Yes.
theoretically, I may find more of them in the next week or so to catch up on everything I missed, but who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a quiet week overall.
Well, I guess one item in the news we can maybe talk about is all the layoffs and hiring freezes going on.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
an interesting
brutal.
topic. Yeah. And I'm hearing Facebook
The
is meant to have some big ones coming up this week, right?
Yep, you had the
Yeah.
Twitter snap, and
Twitter Snap. What is that?
that's what they're referring to it internally. The
Oh,
Thanos
yeah?
snap, where he killed 50% of everybody. So this is
Jeez.
the Elon snap because he canned 50% of Twitter, and they're calling it the Twitter snap. Um,
Okay.
but yeah,
Interesting.
Twitter and Meta and a whole bunch of other companies out there. I mean, the Meta ones are going to be pretty big, it sounds. But I mean, everybody's hurting. If you took a look at or listened to any of the earnings calls that just came out like in the last couple of weeks,
Mhm.
it's not pretty. Every single, especially in the advertising space, anything that is heavily supported by ads like YouTube or
Yeah.
Snapchat or Twitter or things like that, they're all tremendously way down on their earnings because the whole market is kind of retracting. It does seem like YouTube is still making a crap load of money and Google Ads is still making a crap load of money, but they are still the biggest players in the space. So hopefully they get through it relatively unscathed. But yeah, it's a tough time for everyone out there, and definitely our thoughts and prayers go out to anybody who was affected by that. And I have been seeing a tremendous community outreach that's been happening through lots of different companies out there that are creating databases of people that are looking for jobs that were laid off as part of these cuts. So if you are looking to hire some quality folks, just go on Twitter and look for people talking about this. I think TechCrunch was working on one as well at one point. There's going to be a lot of really talented people in the workforce, so definitely go and look for them. And I think I've retweeted a couple of them as well, so you can check out my Twitter if you're looking for that.
Got it. Cool. All right, will do. And yeah, let's jump into those updates. So the smart chips in Google Sheets as links on mobile. So this is, in relation to that big overarching smart canvas update announcement. And this is, now giving you the ability to add, to be able to quickly add people and files into Google Sheets with smart chips on the web. And, starting this week though, on mobile, those chips are treated like linked text and will show relevant hover cards and context menu items. Next, we have that ability to do offline printing available now for Google Sheets. And this feature is going to be only available in Chrome. And of course, if you have offline access enabled, so you can also, it looks like you can also encrypt Sheets with files with the client-side encryption, and that's an additional feature supported by offline printing. All right, and next we have this, the first major announcement of the week back on Halloween. This is the improved flow for expiring access controls in Google Drive. I was actually just looking at this one today, in fact, and showing this to someone. So you can now, you're now able to set expiring access when sharing files in Drive. This will improve that existing expiring access capability by allowing you to set and add an expiration when sharing, as opposed to after a person already has access to the file. So this is going to be, as you add the user and you click down in that dropdown where you are giving them that view, edit, or comment access, you will go and set the expiry date of when that user is going to be no longer able to access the file. So when you select that, be able to set the date. The one thing I did notice that when you add the expiration there, you can only set the date at like the end of the day. So there's no ability to set the time of the day. It just ends at 23:59 local time to you. So something just to keep in mind of if you're sharing this with someone overseas, perhaps I'd imagine that the timing of it would be a little bit different. So keep that in mind when you are setting the expiry. So, if you're sharing with someone in the UK, for example, you may want to give them until, I think, it'll be maybe like the next day later, because you'll be jumping ahead, like, my date today. So, I don't know. Think about it if you're setting the dates and you're working with people internationally. That's all I'm saying. Whatever the intention is, keep that in mind. And let's see here. There's some additional info here. You'll be able to set the expiring access to files when sharing files in MyDrive on Android by the end of November. So this one at the moment just is going to be specific to the web, it looks like. And rollout for this one is going to be the same for wrap release and schedule release domains. It started on the 31st of October on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for feature visibility, and available only to some Workspace editions: Business Standard, Business Plus, Enterprise Essentials, Enterprise Standard, Education Plus, Enterprise Plus, Education Standard, and Nonprofit customers. So I don't know. It always baffles me as to how they pick and choose nonprofit in there. Like, usually this would not be one that you would see with nonprofit, I would imagine, with it not going to Business Starter, but not available for Business Starter and a few others there. Also not available to users with personal accounts, frontline, legacy G Suite Basic Business customers, those kind of things. So limited capabilities there based on what SKU you have. This next announcement, yet another reminder that you need to retire your classic Google sites. I mean, come on, folks. It is about time. Who is using the classic ones anyways still? If you are, this is hopefully your last warning and hopefully the last change in timing of all this, because it was supposed to be December 1st, 2022. It is now January 30th, 2023, where Google will begin to turn off the ability to edit any remaining classic sites in your domain. So they'll remain viewable until the automatic conversion, but that January 30th date, that is one of the milestones there. And then after January 30th, 2023, the sites will begin to automatically convert all remaining classic sites to the new sites, drafts for site owners to review and publish, and export static archives to Google Takeout. So classic sites will be deleted after they are converted to new sites. And there's some info in the CSV file included in that export, and some auto conversion info for any classic sites that were unable to convert. And
I was actually just going through this post. It's basically a Russian nesting doll of posts here, because it starts off by saying, reminder to migrate your classic sites. Then we're extending the previously announced timeline, which if you click on that link goes to migrate your classic sites. We're extending the previously announced timeline. You click on that one and it says in 2017 we announced that we would replace classic sites. You click on that one and it goes to the update on the classic sites depreciation timeline, and then you click on the link when we launched the new Google sites last year. Then it goes to the article where they announced the totally rebuilt Google sites, and I'll put screenshots on here for each of these steps. But I was cracking up over here, just going deeper down the rabbit hole.
Wow. Yeah.
It's been a while.
So yeah, this could be the big day. Could be
fingers crossed, I think. Yes, is there anyone still using it? I don't know.
I mean, there must be. There must be with this announcement still here. So yeah, you'll be notified once all your sites on the domain have been migrated. It may take multiple months for your domain, depending on the number and complexity of your sites. So in the meantime, you can check the status of your sites in the classic Sites Manager and see how that is coming along. So there's a lot of info here on how to ensure a smooth transition and some best practices when migrating your sites. So have a look through those and make sure that that transition is going to be running as smooth as it can for your environment. And as Jesse said, there were lots of links to lots of announcements and lots of date changes. So, just have some fun with those links. And if you want to explore that, but the main one is that January 30th, 2023 date for the conversion commencement of all classic sites to the new sites. Next in our update, we have that Google for Education transformation report window now being open for customers worldwide. So this is going to be for those education customers in the K-12 Workspace for Education environment, available to you there at no cost. They're available only in English. And that reporting window is open from the 2nd of November, so last Wednesday, through to the end of the year, so December 31st, 2022. And you will get some benefits from immediate access here into the viewing this custom report. There's some real-time customization here. You can adjust settings in real time, including your 12-week product data reporting window and the numbers of teachers and students in your org. And then that report will be locked for editing after the 31st of December. So this is that, and if you're not familiar with this is a free tool designed to help quantify your organization's Google for Education implementation across the products and programs. It sounds a little bit like Work Insights to me, of how those are all the different products are being used. And I haven't seen this myself, but it's kind of what it sounds like here, including some Chromebook usage and a few other things. So yeah, some student enrollment and faculty counts. I wonder what this, they talk about some of the usage and numbers and students and faculty, but it's weird. There's like another resource that Google uses on the education side to count the number of students that Google licenses your environments for. It's called iPads. And that's the number that Google uses to determine what your cost is going to be for students. So let's say you have, 100,000 people in your workspace environment, but iPad says you only have 15,000 students. You only pay for 15,000 licenses, apparently. That's what I've recently found out.
Cool. Seems nifty.
Yeah. All right. I think we gave the dates on that. Reports are available now for all users, and it's available for those K-12 Education Fundamentals, Education Standard, Education Plus, and the Teaching and Learning Upgrade customers. And then finally, the ability to manage projects and tasks with a new timeline view in Google Sheets is now available. So here we are back on that smart canvas topic. This interactive timeline view is going to help you track those projects in Google Sheets, giving you a new visual layer to display project information stored there with things like task start date, task end date description, and owner, for example. And with this new feature, it's going to be located kind of right there with the rest of some of these new smart features into insert timeline here, and select some date, range, configure attributes in the timeline settings sidebar. So that will be rolling out to those domains a bit in a staggered approach. The rapid release domains are going to start to see that on the 2nd of November on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for visibility. And then scheduled release domains will start to see this on the 16th of November also on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for visibility. Available to most everyone by the looks of things. It is just not going to be available to legacy G Suite Basic and Business customers, and not available to those with personal Google accounts. That's going to be kind of like the new sites to classic sites, or classic to new sites kind of thing there. At some point, that's just not going to be a thing anymore. They're going to have to get rid of all those licenses and start to upgrade everyone. I think that was supposed to happen. I thought that was supposed to happen by like the beginning of this year, but I guess there's still some renewals or contracts still in term where it hasn't transitioned yet. But I'm sure that will be coming at some point soon. And that's it. As I said, that is a pretty quiet week. We talked about the Q4 roadmap. That's about all we can say about that one. We'll link to where it is in the Google Cloud Connect community. You can try to get access there. If you do have, as I said, if you do have access, that link will work. You just have to make sure you're logged into the correct account. And that will then have links to the slides and the sheets from that landing page there to get you in. Other than that, we kind of already talked a little bit about, news, layoffs happening within the tech industry. I got into a little bit of that, I think, at the beginning of the episode, so not too much more to dive into that one. We're working on, scheduling and setting a date for that Chrome OS exam interview. Some of the Google team that helped release that. So that should be coming up in the next few months, hopefully before we get the new year, or before the end of the year wraps up. So again, trying to give you guys a few weeks notice for that episode, as it will be live on YouTube. So we're just trying to nail down that date, and we'll get that, communicated to everyone as to when that is going to happen. But if you do have any questions about the Chrome OS exam, for example, feel free to let us know, and we'll get those questions added into the live and the interview there for you.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. And thanks for the reminder there. It's time for us to start planning our end of the year recap episode as we head into the holiday season. I got an invite
to a special episode somewhere.
So
yeah.
What?
I got an invite to the one of the UK C2C groups. They're doing an end of year special episode somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be joining them, on that.
Cool.
To talk about all the updates that came out this year. So, I'll definitely sync up with you, Jesse, and we can kind of communicate a collective Google Workspace voice in there. See what's going on with that. I'll let you know. That's I think you probably know Ilias and Paul Lees, and then I'm trying to think who else, and Andy Yates. I think the three of them are going to be spearheading that event with C2C, and it should be coming up I'm not sure. I think it's going to be live. I think that's usually how they do things. If I recall, it's going to be December 15th. I think that's the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll have to get a link for that later. All right. Well, that's all for this week. Quiet, quick. Short episode for a change. Send us your questions and comments on Twitter at Workspace Recap and our website, workspacerecap.com. Hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a review. Leave your comments, whatever you like. We love hearing from you. In the podcast space especially, we don't get a lot of feedback, so feel free to head on over to YouTube and leave a comment if you want, or hit us up on any of the different platforms. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you like the shorts or hate them, or whatever. Or even the things we added to this episode. Yes, Steve.
Speaking of YouTube and heading over there, I don't know if you noticed, but Workspace Admin's got its 1,000th subscriber recently.
It was,
or maybe you did notice. I know
it was me.
That's why I wanted to mention that.
Who was it? Brian, I think that tweeted that you were about to hit that, and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yep.
tabGeeks is not following this account. Click.
Yeah.
So yeah. What do I win, Steve?
You win this shout out right now. That's what you win.
Oh, okay.
You win a shout out. Yeah, wonderful shout. Thanks for being our
on my own show.
Subscriber,
Thanks.
Jesse.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Academy and Google. And anyway, have a great week, and we will see you next time on Workspace Recap.